Hello everyone, welcome in Scottish Summit 2021. My name is Marcin Siewnicki. Today I would like to talk about business processes in Microsoft Teams. Before we start, I'd like to thank to our sponsors, to ScriptRunner, DQ Global, Proximo Free, Redspire, Agilicis, and Hitachi Solutions. Such a big event wouldn't be possible without these sponsors, so please go explore the websites. And again, big thanks. As I said, my name is Marcin Siewnicki. I am Microsoft 365 consultant. I'm also one of the team of SharePoint Saturday Warsaw. I'm SharePoint guy. I've been working with SharePoint since 2005. My main areas are Microsoft 365 as a main topic, but in details Teams as a tool for modern workplace, collaboration, SharePoint Online, and some automation as a backend. So quick agenda. First topic, inventory. So what you can find inside Microsoft 365 and Teams to create business processes and to work with business processes. Then we start very simple approvals in Teams. Next one is advanced processes. We create, and I will show you more advanced processes, not only approvals, but some advanced processes with multiple layers and paths. Then BPM, so business process management. Is it possible to create a very complex and very advanced business process in Microsoft Teams with backend from Microsoft 365? And last part at the end, third-party tools. So what you can get from third-party tools from outside of Microsoft 365 and how to connect them with Teams, how to work with those kind of tools directly from Microsoft Teams. And why should you care about Teams and business processes together? Microsoft described Teams as a hub for teamwork. I love this description because it shows the real nature of Teams. So we have Teams as a main place, a center of our teamwork. So we can use Teams to create our workplace, create teams, add applications, add business processes, talk with our colleagues, with customers, with external people, create files, add files, work out those files. And using this one tool, we can minimize switching between applications, between external applications, finding proper tab in web browser. And it allows us to create one consistent tool, consistent place to work, and minimize effort to switch between applications to find information. So that's why we should and you should consider Teams as a hub for teamwork and then place when you can work with your business processes, start processes, approve some processes, edit those tasks, etc. Okay, inventory, what you can find inside Microsoft Teams and that you can use to build business processes and work with business processes. So you can find Microsoft lists, SharePoint document libraries, and Dataverse Pro and Dataverse for Microsoft Teams as a backend, as a data source for your business processes. But the main engine would be Power Automate. So Power Automate is a main engine for business processes, for automation inside Microsoft 365, and we should use this engine to create business processes and connect them with different parts of Microsoft 365 and with Teams. And the third pillar is Power Apps as a end user front end for end users to create applications that will rely on business processes and show some data for users, allow them to interact with those data. So it's an end users layer for business processes and applications. And together, all of those things we can connect with Microsoft Teams, and you can use Teams as a hub, as a central place when you can act with your business process, create business process, and do some actions inside it. And first, very basic stuff, approvals. Microsoft introduced approvals in last few weeks. It's a new thing in Microsoft Teams, but very powerful. You can use it to create very basic approvals that you can send to your colleagues and ask for approval for specific topic, for document, for some offering, etc. And approvals are very simple because it's sent out on notification. You have only two actions: yes, no, approve, reject. You can find all approvals in one place, so that's very important because you won't switch between different applications, between Power Automate portal, between teams, etc. No, all approvals are stored in one place in Microsoft Teams. Approvals allows us to use only one stage approval, so there's no multi-levels approvals. You can add files to your approval, so assign some files. Users will get notifications about new approval assigned to them, so it's very important because you don't want to miss approval. And you can use also custom flows with custom triggers, custom data sources, and those custom triggers will work with approvals in Teams. So now let's go to Teams and I will show you how it looks like and what you can get from this. Okay, this is Microsoft Teams, and my approvals is dedicated application. You can add it to your left-hand menu. It's a personal application. And if I go to approvals, I will get, okay, please load. I can see all of my approvals created by me or assigned to me in entire Microsoft 365 tenant. So I can find here every single approval that I need to work with and that I created. I can directly from this place create a new approval. It's very easy. Only some title, maybe description, and assign approver one or multiple approvers. And I can add attachment and decide if I want to use custom responses or default. Default are approve, reject. Custom, I can type yes, no, or whatever I want, but only two custom responses, two options. If I go to this one, requested, it shows me title, description. If there's any document, I can click on that document and know the current status and options, yes or no. Because I created that approval and assigned it to myself, I can also cancel that request, but end user will get only yes or no, or approve, reject, or other options that we create for them. And that's it. And as you can see, there's notification for each approval, so it's really hard to miss any approval assigned to you. So it's easy for users to get approvals, to work with approvals, start new approvals. But as you can see, there's one stage approval, and I can create ad hoc those approvals. So this is not designed path, not some specific business process behind it, but one stage approval from requester to assigned person, and that's it. But it's important because this is first step to create business processes and work with business processes from Teams. So that's first step that you can use. and then this kind of this application we will use in more advanced processes. Okay, I can close this one, with more advanced processes and with even very complex processes later. Let's go back to slide. So as I said before, very simple application, very simple approvals, one stage, requester and assigned person, but it's the first step to more complex business process or real business processes. So what you can get in advance if you want to create advanced processes with defined process path, multiple approval stages, a lot of files assigned to each approval, to each flow. Of course, some monitoring behind that, reporting system, maybe custom connectors with that you can use to connect to external world, to SQL Server, maybe to SAP systems, etc. Of course, notifications, some emails sent to each user, maybe notifications sent by using Teams system, so some chat messages. So what you can get to, what you need to use to get that kind of process. As you can see, this is very simple, maybe not simple, but sample process created in Microsoft Power Automate. And to create such complex or maybe not advanced processes, you should use Power Automate, because it allows us to create complex processes with a lot of logic behind it, with complex logic. Then we can add power apps as a business layer for end users. Behind that, we can use Microsoft List, maybe SharePoint libraries, document libraries, and Dataverse as a backend when we can store data for those processes, and some layer to send notifications to users. Let's switch to Teams. Okay, to create more advanced, more complex business processes and connect them with Teams, we can use, as a first step, we can use Microsoft List, because it's very easy to use, but very powerful, because we can connect Power Automate and Power Apps to List and create complex scenarios, complex processes with a lot of automation and a lot of logic behind it. You can create a new list and assign to your team, to your channel. And there are a lot of create a list. There are a lot of ready-to-use templates. I used one of these templates to create a very simple business process, travel request. This list is based on this template, one of these templates. So all fields are from template. I can create a new travel request. Let's say travel to BMN conference 2022, maybe not this year. Destination New York, why not? Okay. Select some airlines, British Airways. Hotel cost, maybe airfare, let's say 2000. Start date next year and end date also next year. Myself as a requester. And some reason. And maybe I can assign enter additional details for hotel, etc. I can save this request, and now behind it there is a dedicated Power Automate flow connected to this list, and it will start approval process and send to me, because this is a demo, to me approval request for this conference. And it will use two Teams functions. First, approvals. So if I go to approvals application in Teams, I will get a new approval directly here. And the second one, it will send dedicated approval message to general channel. Okay, here, as you can see, travel to PPM conference. This is a message sent by bot, by Teams, by Power Automate bot to Teams channel. I designed that Power Automate flow to send it to channel, but I can also use option to send it directly to user using Teams chat. So it depends on my requirements and work culture in my company. So I can create a approval, send it to one user, maybe to entire channel if it's if I need to send it globally. And so it doesn't matter if I go and click from Power Apps from Teams approval application, because I can get this approval and approve or reject, or if I go to Teams and click approve reject directly from a channel message. So it works the same, but it allows me to be more flexible. So I can accept or approve all requests from approvals application, or maybe I prefer from channels or directly from chat messages. So it's up to me. And if we go to Power Automate, it's very easy to use Power Automate to create such approval. As you can see, there's create approval action. I can create action, add, I will zoom it a little, add required information. So end user will get all information in one message. So we don't need our user to switch between Teams to email message, maybe to some items, find information, what's this about, costs information, etc. No, we can put all required information in this message, and then we can use a dedicated action in Power Automate to send this message to Teams. I use this post your own adaptive card as the flow bot to a channel, but there is also post your own adaptive card as the flow bot to a user. So it works the same, but send a message, the same message, to a user using my, Teams chat, personal chat. So I can send it directly to this specific user, so nobody else can see that message. And this flow will wait for end user's approval. If I click yes or no, it will go further to the next step, to the next action. Okay, and I click submit. And that's beauty of this kind of approvals, because it doesn't matter if I click from channel or Power Automate approvals application. It automatically approves my request, and in second and third place it's marked as approved. So I don't need to switch between apps and approve. It doesn't matter. I can go to my application, go to Teams approvals. I can go to channel, or if I get a message from in personal message, I can click in this place and it will be accepted, approved, rejected, whatever action I do. So it's very easy to use for end users, because we want that they focus on their work, not to switch between applications keep in mind what's, where, how, any specific routine to accept some kind of request. No, it doesn't matter. If I get message using Teams, I can go and click and boom, it's approved, rejected, but it's done, finished. I can go to another one and do something else. And Teams sent me also a notification that it's approved because I'm also a requester here. And I, as a requester, if I create that request, there's too many notifications from time to time, I can go to my approvals application in Teams and check all waiting requests, waiting approvals from all business processes that use Power Automate in entire Microsoft 365 ecosystem. So it doesn't matter if it's created in these Power Apps or other Power Apps in Teams using Dataverse, in Teams or maybe Microsoft List, SharePoint Library, Power Automate using SQL Server. It doesn't matter if it uses approvals in Teams, approval in Power Automate. I will get all required information in one place in Microsoft Teams. It's very important because we minimize no effort to switch between application and search for required information. And as you can see, I don't use Outlook. Of course, approvals in Power Automate can send me information using Outlook. If I go and switch to my Outlook, there should be some information. There should be some emails. Of course, there's a lot of information. Okay, other. No. But yeah, this one travel request and to BPM conference. So I can use this one as well from Outlook, but I don't need to use Outlook. I can use Outlook for communication with external people, my customers, clients, maybe vendors. But if I want to use Teams, I can focus on my work inside my company only in Teams. Outlook, I can use it for external communication, but Teams for internal communication, as you can see, for business processes using Power Automate as well. Using Power Automate, I go quickly and switch to Office again, because that error closed all of my windows, all of my tabs in this browser. Okay, my flows. And I showed you that we can create an approval and post message notification about that approval inside Teams. But there's one more advanced action in Power Automate that we can use to send more complex, more advanced information to teams, to channels, and to users. We can use customized adaptive cards. As you can see, there's a lot of code. Come on. Okay, again, this is you can use JSON notation for creating adaptive cards and send very rich information to teams with images, with advanced information, formattings, and it works in similar way. So we can create adaptive card and wait for some action, but really custom actions from our end user. We can ask them for type some and not only approve, reject, but type some additional information like enter a date or some provide some specific text. This is travel request. This is my adaptive cards list. If I create something here, yes, this is very simple, but to show you how it works. It will send a message in a few seconds to my channel. And we get this message. So this is also a sample of business of adaptive card that you can use in your business process, but this time it sent a message to Teams channel as well. But this time, if I click approve, I can add some comment, but also select a date. So more complex responses to my approval request. So you can manage or you could use one option or other option to use in your business processes to create advanced or even more advanced, more complex business processes and requests for your end users. Okay, so let's go to next chapter. Okay. How far can we go in using Microsoft 365 to create complex business processes? Can we use it to create very complex, even big processes and critical, mission critical processes? So can we use call it business process management? Well, Mr. Serge called Dr. Flow created a Power Platform BPM Toolkit. So he created a BPM Toolkit using Power Platform, all stuff inside Microsoft 365. It's available on GitHub. You can go and check how it works, what you can get from this toolkit, how you can install it, but what's inside? It's written in the Power Platform. There's no external code, so nothing special, nothing, no advanced, no additional components, only pure Power Platform, pure Microsoft 365. It's free and open source, so you can get all flows or Power Automates, Power Apps applications for free. Business can create workflows. So if you install it on your tenant, on your environment, you can allow your business users to create their own workflows. It's state machines mechanism, so end users or business users can go forward or go back in process. You can change workflows during runtime. So if you change something, change logic in your process, running workflow will see that change. There's no workflow duration because Power Automate has some workflow duration for 30 days, but using this toolkit, there's no workflow duration. There's implemented task delegation, so you can delegate tasks, custom task forms. There's dedicated pipeline security, so each user, it's based on users' roles. So each user can see only actions, only items assigned to them. Visual workflows, you can see how the entire process, entire path of workflow. It's integrated with robotic process automation in Microsoft 365, and no premium license is required. if you use SharePoint version. Version dedicated to Dataverse should be available in next 2 or maybe 3 months. And what you can get using this toolkit. There's a lot of Power Automate flows inside it. A few Power Apps applications for end user, for administration, for process users. And I'll switch and show you how it looks like. So this is the main homepage for this toolkit. This version is based on SharePoint Online. So I start with SharePoint Online. I can create a new order. So this is Power Apps application. It will show me dedicated form for my order. Some product, maybe product 1, 5 for account, for contact also Marcin, mail.com, and I can save it as a draft. I can also submit it to approval. And it will be ready in a few seconds. But if I go back to my page and click your dashboard, it will load a different Power Apps application. And this is center for end user. So I can see, check my new orders, new pending orders, and is it approved or rejected. If I need, I can go here and edit some information, add some more details. It automatically switch between Power Apps to Power Apps. And this is the form that I filled before. And for this item, as you can see, there's a flow from Paris to NYC and to supervisors. And currently it's in a Paris stage, and it's waiting for Paris approvals. And there's also a workflow center. If I go and click this one, Power Apps application shows me entire all of my existing processes assigned to me for my approval. This is order for Marcin. It's running in this stage. I can go switch. I can check all orders approvals in each stage. I can click refresh. Okay, but it's based on Power Automate and Power Apps, but it's not connected to Teams because it's different. Classic SharePoint, Power Apps, so something different from Teams. But because it's Power Apps, I can use Power Apps and connect them, embed them in Teams. And because it's Power Automate, I can use it as a create maybe approvals inside and use the approvals application that I showed you before. But approvals, I showed the approvals. Now let's go and I've just added two personal applications to Teams. This BPM Toolkit Workflow dashboard, Workflow Control Center. This is this one. I pinned that one. Maybe I pin files and calls to save some space. So as you can see, I can add this application to my left-hand menu. And because it's Teams, I can assign this application globally and as a Teams admin to my entire company. So every single employee will be able to see that application in Teams left-hand menu. So there's no need to go and search in apps menu, looking where it's if it's available or not. I can assign it globally. And I can also make this one, the second one, pinned. And this is my dashboard, so I can for all users, I can create a section in menu for end user dashboard, and for business users, I can create a dedicated section in menu for Workflow Central. So they will be able to create workflows and monitor workflows directly from Teams. No need to switch between applications, because if I want to go to SharePoint, I must know links, some bookmarks, maybe a link saved in my notes. So I must open notes, search for that specific URL, paste it, and then open additional tabs. And it's easily to get lost in your tabs, because I personally use from 30 to 50 tabs in browser because of different type of work. But I try to minimize it as much as possible. But I know people that works only on business processes, and they use from 50 to even 200 tabs with multiple browsers only, and they work only with some business processes and nothing else. And it's easy to get lost in a lot of tabs, a lot of applications, a lot of browsers. So if we can get this inside Teams, it's better, because we don't need to switch. I can go to Teams, to my channel, to chat, to talk with my colleagues, or if I get some approval, or I need to create approval, or want to check my request, I can go to my specific Power Apps, if it's created by myself, or if I use this BPM toolkit. But let's go back to this toolkit for a moment. Because this toolkit shows how far can you go using Power Platform, Power Automate, Power Apps. You can create very complex business processes, very complex logic behind it. And as Serge Luca showed, created that toolkit, you can create almost fully automatic business process using delegations, with security options, without any limits that you can get from Power Platform. And so, in fact, I think that most companies will find it toolkit enough to work with, even with mission critical processes. And it's still in preview version, so there's more to come. And I think that in more in upcoming months, it will be very, very much a product to test and to use in production systems. Okay, but what if I already have, or I prefer some third-party tools because of some external regulations, law regulations, government rules, etc. If I must use third-party tools, or I prefer to use third-party tools because of my own reasons. Well, we can use external tools like Nintex Workflow, Webcon, BPS, and many others. And many of them created and provide dedicated apps for Teams, so you don't need to create your own connections. You can use the application from that third-party vendor, or if there's no such application from that specific vendor, there's almost every time option to use to exchange data between teams and that specific system. Of course, if it's online system, it's easier, but if it's system hosted in your on-prem environment, it's also possible using data, using on-premises data gateway. So you can use that gateway to connect Microsoft 365 with your on-premises environment and send and exchange data between this maybe internal SAP system, maybe internal custom your own very specific system to Power Automate, Power Apps, and then to Teams, and send it back to your system. I tried different systems. My last project is based on SAP and with workflows, very custom workflows in SAP system, and with Power Automate. I also try to use Webcon BPS and Teams applications. It works the same way as this BPM toolkit, so you can get application from this specific vendor from Webcon BPS. For Webcon BPS system, you upload it to your Teams, and then create a dedicated application, and well, it will simply show this application interface inside Teams. So nothing special, nothing advanced, but simply embed that specific business process application inside Teams, so you don't need to switch. There's dedicated application with rules, with permissions, etc. Switch for a moment back to my Teams and to applications. So if you use one of third-party business process tools, you can go to Teams App Store and search for that specific application. Let's say Webcon, because I use that one. As you can see, there are two applications. One by default, it's available directly from store, Webcon BPS Cloud, and one created or downloaded by myself from and that designed for my specific account in this one. If I click this one, it will show me some window with a preview of what I get. So this is embedded user interface inside Teams. So I don't need to switch. I can use Teams as my main place for this business process. Or if you use different type of third-party tools, you can go and search it. If it's not available, you can always go to that specific vendor and search. Maybe there's application available on the website. If not, send an email, ask them if it's available. Very often it's available directly from the websites, not from Teams, not from Teams store. So you can go and upload, check, ask. Maybe there's application on demand, not available for everyone. But if you go and install it, for installing application, you need Teams administration role, but you can ask your admin to do that. If you upload it, download, upload, and install inside your Teams, you can use it as any other application inside your Teams. Some of them will be available as a tab, so I can go, click plus button and search. Okay, as you can see, I can use BPM toolkit as a tab, but some of them will be available as a personal application, and they will add us in left-hand menu. Okay, let's go back to switch to our slides. So quick recap. Using Teams, but where's my Teams? Using Teams, you can consume existing workflows, existing business processes created in Microsoft 365 using Power Platform, Power Automate, Power Apps, SharePoint lists, libraries, etc. There's a dedicated component, dedicated application called Approvals for Teams. You can use it if your business processes use approvals. It's perfect place to work with those approvals, those business processes, because you get all approvals in one place. You don't need to switch between process to process. Go there and you will get all approvals in one place. If you need advanced or more advanced processes with more logic behind it, you can create a dedicated business process based on SharePoint list, maybe a SharePoint document library, maybe Dataverse, and use it inside Teams. The same way you can send dedicated approval messages to your users using Teams chat, or using personal chat, or using channel chats. It's up to you which communication channel you prefer, which is better for your organization. So your end business users, your end users won't switch between applications to emails, to Teams, etc. They can work directly from Teams. If you need more complex or mission critical, you can also do this, as you can see in this BPM Toolkit example. You can create very, very complex scenario if you know how to do this, or you can go to GitHub and download this BPM Toolkit for free and use it. Or if you need, or if you want to use third-party tools, you can always go and check if it's some dedicated application for that third-party tool. If not, you can ask your vendor to deliver that application, or provide that application, or create your own custom connector. So there's a lot of options, a lot of possibilities. You can check and choose your own option, choose your own method to deliver business processes to your employees, and connect that business process with Teams. Okay, that's all from my side. I hope that you get some useful information from my presentation. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed my session, and I hope that you enjoy all other sessions in Scottish Summit 2021. Thank you again, and have a good day. Bye.